Next, I'm going to talk briefly about room treatment. Room treatment and poor monitor placement are probably the two things that let down about 90% of home recording studios. No acoustic room treatment or poor room treatment will suck up more than half the purchase price of your monitors, meaning your monitors won't sound anywhere near as good as their price tag suggests, and they just won't be able to shine to their full potential, not even close. Just pop into any restaurant that has a marble floor, stone walls, large windows and no curtains, and high ceilings, and listen to the ghastly sounds that are desperately trying to make music coming out of the poorly placed speakers that are randomly dotted around the walls and up in the corners. The reverberation, the reflections, the comb filtering effects, the total lack of anything that could resemble stereo imaging, it's absolutely horrible. The other end of this scale would be a professional recording studio with acoustic tiles and other treatments carefully considered and worked out, with monitors placed in the correct position in a triangular fashion to your head, with the tweeters level with your ears. Listening to music in a studio environment is a different acoustic story entirely. Room reflections, reverberation and comb filtering are all great big no-nos in the home recording studio, so you're going to have to invest a bit of money in this department, so don't flinch when I say it will cost you just shy of £400. Trust me on this, an acoustically treated room is an absolute must for mixing and mastering, and it's just as important as the monitors themselves. They go hand in hand. Remember, your monitors will only sound as good as the room they are in, and I'd much rather listen to a pair of £500 monitors in a well-treated room than a pair of £40,000 ATCs leaning up against a concrete pillar in St Paul's Cathedral. Of course, you can drape quilts and blankets all over the walls, and that will get you part of the way there, but this will often totally dry the room out, and it can make things sound worse, as you don't want too much coverage. Also, forget about egg boxes, I won't even go down that road. To do it properly, I'd suggest investing in a Universal Acoustics room treatment kit, such as their Mercury 2 system, which I've installed here on the walls behind me. The kit will arrive in a great big box containing 40 wall wedges, 4 bass traps, 2 cans of spray mist adhesive and installation instructions. Also, the guys at Universal Acoustics are brilliant. You can phone them or email them anytime for advice. Here's a few tips. Some people make the mistake of covering every inch of wall space, including the ceiling, which results in a totally dead, flat, dry and unnatural sound. Somewhere between 35 and 50% coverage is what's generally required for a good balance and to retain a little bit of natural room tone. However, the tiles do have to be strategically placed around the walls, corners and ceilings to be effective. But this is not as difficult as some people make it sound, pun intended. Having your room treated is a necessity, especially when it comes to recording vocals, as without room treatment, you'll almost certainly end up recording too much room reverb along with the vocals, and this is something that's next door to impossible to remove during the editing stage. It's much easier to add reverb via an effects plugin than it is to remove it. Universal Acoustics are based in Milton Keynes in the UK, and the Mercury 2 acoustic room kit at £390 should be enough for most small to medium home recording studios. Apart from being acoustically perfect products, I love the fact that Universal Acoustics have thought up some really cool ideas in other areas too, such as the wedges are all cut flat across the tops so they don't perish and frizzle away over time, and if you've got any kids, they won't be able to pick pointy bits off them. They also come in different colours which don't fade over time. I can vouch for this, as I've had these ones here installed for nearly 5 years now, and the sunlight streams in through the window during the mornings on most days, and for safety concerns, yes, they're fire retardant. If you pop on over to the Universal Acoustics website, I'll put the link in the description below, you'll find tips on the correct placement for the tiles and bass traps, and you can even download their free acoustic room treatment guide that has a diagram that demonstrates where to place the acoustic tiles. You should look at your room as another piece of equipment, and a vital one at that, as the room has just as much effect on the sound as the monitors themselves.